do a very quick stream here. It's a test of going live and doing a quick GCS session. I have a lot of time this morning, but I will spend 5 minutes and try to whip something together. So the goal is to have sort of like an outline shape and a material. So chose designing a Hexagon Garnet, and this will be the first one. So let's get started. All right, hexagons have 6 sides, so we'll start there. Whoops, start there and get our girdle line set. Oops. There we go. We'll just do we could kind of do like a cushion, cushion quote unquote hexagon, but we'll go with a simple one. So I like to start with the girdle outline, especially if it's pretty high symmetry. This is a six symmetry for now. So it's also kind of nice to just put like a basic crown on there. Like a lot of times I'll have like a 33-degree angle, and usually some other too, but I'll just put like a very basic, one tier in the table. And then we'll go to the pavilion where all the magic happens. So let's start with, again, usually just start with something kind of boring. So for Garnet, one of the nice things is you can see, actually, that reminds me. So it defaults to quartz when you do a new design, but I'll go to, I have a colorless Garnet so I can focus on the details, not the color right away. So you can see the critical angle here is 34.5. A lot of times I start with something like 43. I don't want to edit that. There we go. I was editing the girdle there, so let's bring this in. Cut. Okay. Not bad already. Garnet's a pretty high refractive index, so you can make it look pretty nice. Let's make it look a little more interesting than that. And I'm going to focus on a meat point design also. So what might be interesting is a lot of times doing something like say mirroring the facets. I feel like that's like a slightly more interesting pattern. I mean, I have twice as many facets. That's sort of, oh, it's still twisted there. Kind of interesting. Let's do like that maybe, but then take it back to 96. Okay. We're at 43. I'll go ahead and level the girdle here and make it like, I don't know, 50 degrees or something. Add a main point there. So this feature, like, once I get used to Gem Cut Studio, there's some like kind of speed features, and jumping just like hops the sort of like joining point, or the meet point is what it's called officially, to the next available one. Okay, so we have this, still looks kind of okay. We have this, which is a little more interesting. And then if we're looking at the bottom, we should probably do at least one more tier. But it might be cool to do 6 and then do like I think this probably won't be shallow enough. So there's a star there, but what if we do 12? That's kind of looking a little bit cooler. I need to rotate this to be like that, so I can get the right meet point. Okay. This one's a little complicated, but I kind of like it. Okay. Let's try that, 39.5. The general rule of thumb here is like, obviously you don't want to go over the critical angle, because if you do, like, which I'll show here, I'll just do this because it doesn't really matter. I'm going to undo it, but You can see like looks okay, and then we'll get to 34.5 and all of a sudden what's called a window shows up, which means you're shallower than the critical angle, so light's just passing straight through the top, and it's not bouncing back to your eyes, it's going through the stone, which gives it what we call a window, like you would look through your window at your house. And is usually not ideal. Sometimes you can use windows to your advantage, but most of the time you want brilliance or sparkle or contrast in the design. So let's stop there for the pavilion. I only have like a minute or so left. And we'll skip to the crown here. And again, a hexagon, it kind of makes it limited. One thing we could do, let's see here, we're at 33, so maybe 25. Okay. Let's move it actually over to the right spot. So maybe we do something like that. And it's cool because, you can see the live render down here. And we'll do this, 3. I kind of like doing this. So 3 at 20 and then 3 at like say 24. So it's 6-sided, but it's like 3 symmetrical here. But they're like slightly different angles, and then let's move this back a little bit actually, make it a little steeper. Yeah, like 40.5 seems good. Then we can come back in and do sort of these 20. So we can do like six. Is that what I want to do? Do like 15. That's not quite right. Also, let's just cut this for now. And I want to rotate this just for this design to make it look a little better. Normally you wouldn't position it like this, but this is to make it look symmetrical. Something seems off here. This thing, these are off. These should not be 17. There we go. Okay. So now, do something like this. That's a little bit too, so you don't really want to go past 15, so let's do that. Maybe, we don't want to do that. Okay. That looks kind of interesting. Okay, and then tilt performance. This is a graph that kind of shows you, it'll tilt both directions 20 degrees and show you the light return, out of a possible 100% you're getting. So this is pretty good light return, and then these orange ones show like the percentage of the stone that's windowing, and this one's if you're looking through the table, the dotted line is what those values are. That looks pretty good, and we'll quickly go to manual optimizer and just take a look at a couple of these. Let's do it by eye. Does it look better that way? What about if I make the crown taller? That kind of looks interesting. I kind of like that. Okay, let's go with that. And we'll call that a day. I have to go, but the next step would be ordering these for the correct cutting order and adding instructions. So, yeah. Good first session, very simple. Eventually, I'm going to do some kind of like more randomness, or maybe like people vote on like shape and material, and so it'll be like more challenging, or maybe like just more diverse as we go. So that's it for me.